let's look at Hot Topics Pride Collection. 'Cause it's that time of the year again. And I don't know how to feel about this one. At least they have more than just the rainbow flag, and it's usually pretty subtle, but at what cost? Okay, they are finally figuring out what we want. Never mind. I knew someone thought this was gonna be a banger. B-R-O-O-O-U-D. Well, all white, and the meow to BL is fabulously fierce. Comment what you want to see next.
Well, apparently Rock Bottom has a basement.
And white privilege doesn't have a ceiling.
Finally, they're opening up the gates. There'll be actual real life people. It'll be totally strange. But wow, am I so ready for this change? 'Cause for the first time in forever, there'll be music, there'll be light. For the first time in forever, I'll be dancing through the night. Don't know if I'm elated or gassy, but I'm somewhere in that zone. 'Cause for the first time in forever, I won't be alone.
Autism Awareness Week. Let's all be aware of Harry.
Do you know if he has a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a they friend? Is the term them friend?
You can just say partner.
Oh, well, that's not very fun. Yeah, I was talking to them earlier, and they weren't sure if they wanted to get themselves involved in that kind of thing. Hey, sorry to bother you, but are you a they them? I could tell you have such fun hair. Just had to let you know that I support you. I support whatever's going on. Okay, have fun. All right, sorry to bother. God, he probably needed to hear that today. I'm such a great ally.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Good morning, bad news! Companies are saving millions of dollars every year with this one weird trick. Hiring children as young as 12 to work dangerous jobs for less than minimum wage. Since 2015, according to the US Department of Labor, child law violations have more than tripled, hitting nearly 4,000 just last year. This is children as young as 12 working in dangerous meatpacking facilities and in metal fabrication, with most of these exploited and underpaid children coming from migrant families in poverty. But instead of strengthening child labor laws, 13 states have either introduced or passed laws to eliminate child labor protections. And it's for the sole reason that adult workers are refusing to take severely underpaid jobs with no benefits. So instead of paying them what they're worth, companies are successfully lobbying to change the law so that they can hire, underpay, and exploit children. And somehow that's not even the worst part. Many of the states rolling back labor laws are also seeing massive numbers of undocumented and unaccompanied child migrants, reflecting a severely broken immigration system that can't protect children legally seeking asylum. And yet business owners don't see this as a crisis, but as an opportunity to take advantage of vulnerable minors with no support system in a foreign country by rolling back the bare minimum protections that exist to prevent the exact kind of extreme exploitation that we're seeing today.
Is actively against licensure because of sex work.
Oh, let me make you mad for a second. Grab your tea. I'm having lemongrass with a green vanilla, you know my nerves. I wrote an essay that explains all of this. Go learn slowly. You cannot possibly understand the heights depths of an argument in a 60-second TikTok. But a quick spark notes. Hello, my name is Ismatu. I am a sex worker. I'm a black queer abolitionist. I do not fuck with licensure for the aforementioned reasons. Therapists are absolutely part of the police. They're known as what we call the soft police. Soft, because no policing is really soft. But policing goes farther than policemen, as in like a white man with a gun. It goes further than slave catching or making people into prisoners for free labor. Policing or police science is what we now know as policy. So when police started, those conversations started, it was talking about healthcare, education, sanitation, basically all the ways that you could regulate a human life to convince people to work for the wage rather than for communal subsistence. Lots of that coercion happens in administrative places, like in the mental health field, like therapists. We're the police. I have no desire to be beholden to the state in any way. I don't want to document my clients, so I'm going without licensure. Cheers.
It's the audacity, April, and we certainly aren't in short supply this month. On the last day of April, let's go. The reason why Angel Reese is receiving so much backlash for her gesture on the court is because racists expect Black people to win in silence and lose with grace so that the order of white supremacy is not disrupted. Women becoming emotionally attached after sex is a lie men told themselves because they need to believe that the only thing most of them have to offer is enough to keep a woman attached to them. If the man that you're dating ever reflects back on the fact that his mother did everything, but instead of feeling pity, he feels pride, do not walk, run. If you actually believe that Krishan and Blueface are abusing each other rather than seeing that Blueface is the main aggressor, then you need to read up on abuse dynamics in relationships. And last, most divorced mothers actually reported feeling less stressed with the father out of the home than with him in it, in case anyone needed to know.
On finding you quite this entertaining. I like your band and I like your song. I like the way human beings play. I like playing along. Oh, what can I do?
If you don't watch Fox News, here are 5 totally real and definitely not made up stories you might have missed this week. On Monday, Fox kicked Tucker to the curb, but don't worry, they gave him a very heartfelt goodbye.
As you probably have heard, Fox News and Tucker Carlson have agreed to part ways. I wish Tucker the best. I'm great friends with Tucker and always will be. But right now, it's time for Fox News tonight, so let's get started.
Brutal. Now, until Fox decides on a replacement, they're going to be having rotating hosts. This week was Brian Kilmeade, and he lost about 50% of Tucker's audience by Wednesday night.
Jets, Packers, quarterback, famous, doesn't like vaccines. That's a riddle. Hopefully we'll solve it when we return.
I can't say I'm surprised.
I don't know haikus.
The rest of Fox wasn't much better. To compensate for the sudden change, Fox brought on tepid, almost insulting fan service. How else do you describe this?
How come Ronald Reagan's always the bad guy?
Or this.
A racist wouldn't want to talk about black-on-black crime because they just want it to continue.
God, that sentence is like a straight shot of dopamine for Fox viewers.
It's like it doesn't make any sense.
And finally, Tucker posted a mini monologue on Wednesday night. It was pretty mediocre.
War, civil liberties, emerging science, demographic change, corporate power, natural resources.
He is obviously struggling without makeup, lights, writers, but that's not the best part, because Tucker had multi-million-dollar TV studios built in his homes. And this is the only angle without Fox branding. Was it worth it, Tuck?
That's it for us for the week. We'll be back.
I'll see you on Friday for next week's recap, because unlike Tucker, I still have a job.
Anytime anyone suggests that I was tricked into thinking I was a boy because of the trans agenda or because of some deep-rooted childhood trauma, I just kind of have to laugh a little. I used to always play as the boy character in Pokemon games, and I used to give myself a new name for every game, just to try it out. In Diamond I was Dan, in Heart Gold I was Terrell, in Black 2 I was Max, but the game I played the most was the first Pokemon Black, in which I named myself Ace. I have almost 500 hours on this game, and I haven't been on it since 2011. You might think with so much save data, I had probably done a lot on this game, right? Maybe completed the Pokedex, caught a bunch of shinies, but no. I legitimately just went around talking to every single NPC on the off chance one might call me Ace or refer to me with masculine terminology. I would take pictures of my screen every time someone called me a boy and look at those pictures when I was sad. This was before I had social media, before I could really conceptualize gender, before I even went through puberty. I just kind of always knew who I was. It was more of a matter of getting people to believe me.
Some Moors, conservative misogyny might be coming to bite them in the ass. Did Tucker get fired for creating a sexist working environment? Or was Rupert Murdoch jealous of how much his ex-fiancée liked Tucker? Steven Crowder just got dumped by his wife. Andrew Tate is under house arrest for trafficking women. Kanye West and Elon Musk lost billions of dollars after being dumped by the women in their lives. Republicans are hemorrhaging swing voters because of their absolute obsession with trans women. Donald Trump is being dragged through an ugly legal battle because of the time he R-worded somebody. And Republicans lost the midterms and many elections since because of taking away abortion rights. I do genuinely wish conservatives would stop being misogynists, but then they would also stop being conservative. Yummy.
Inside Kyle's mouth, the muscles contract to force a smile, even though in his brain, Kyle is thinking, dude, fuck you.
Let's talk about Simone Biles-Owen. If you don't know, Simone just got married, and instead of focusing on the fact that the most decorated gymnast in the history of the sport got married to the love of her life, some people got on Twitter to talk about her hair. But that's not what I wanted to focus on in this video. In my opinion, she looked amazing, she's thriving, she's happy, I'm not worried about her. What all of that noise did to me was spark a larger conversation surrounding texturism, because even though we're in the golden age of black beauty and natural hair care, people with tighter curls still experience prejudice in a number of ways. In fact, the natural hair movement isn't as inclusive as we make it out to be. Hair hierarchies within it still very much exist. Case in point, while the comments surrounding Simone's hair were weird, maddening, and disappointing, they're not new. Lest we forget all the hate Gabby Douglas got for her own hair, or the derogatory remarks Blue Ivy got for hers, or how about the backlash a young black girl got for having her natural hair in an H&M ad. Perhaps it's time we analyze and unlearn the ways in which we perpetuate texturism, because sadly, much like colorism, while texturism wasn't invented by black people, it's still very much an issue within the black community. You see, texturism is discrimination faced by those with coarser and more afro-textured hair. Ultimately, it implies that hair textures closer to white, i.e. straight hair, are more acceptable. And this, unsurprisingly, isn't a recent thing. There's a long history of black hair being demonized and vilified. During slavery, the hair of Africans brought to the New World were cut off to strip them of their culture and identity. Shortly afterwards, the term good hair and bad hair were born to further dehumanize black women and make them believe that their natural hair was, well, bad. Thus, black women started using things like wheel axle grease to try and straighten their hair and loosen their curl patterns. On top of that, straighter hair gave you a higher chance of survival because it meant one could work in the house rather than in the field. And that pressure to conform to European beauty standards didn't stop when slavery was abolished. Back then, black folks straightened their hair for a better chance at economic mobility, and today that still holds true. A 2021 research paper found that black women with natural hair were perceived as less professional and less competent than black women with straight hair. And as I mentioned, those perceptions not only exist within the broader systems of white supremacy, but also within our own communities. It shouldn't be a shocking thing to see a black woman's natural hair texture in any context. Black women come with curls in different lengths, shapes, textures. All hair isn't the same, and no one texture is better than the other. There's this belief that if we wear our hair out, it needs to be perfectly defined, and social media certainly adds to that, but that makes it so our hair has to fall within a certain set of parameters to look good. Now don't get me wrong, I love edges. I made a whole video on it, and I do think it's a testament to the creativity of black women. However, some hair patterns don't respond well to gel or don't lay down for a reason, yet we're told that it's only acceptable if they do. We face so much pressure and put that same pressure on ourselves to make our natural hair look a certain way for it to be done. And within the Walker hair typing system, 4C hair seems to only be appreciated when it resembles other textures. So much so that type 4 hair is being pushed to the sidelines of the natural hair space, but that's for another video. Ultimately, the underlying message is always that the kinkier and shorter your hair is, the less respectable it is. But that doesn't have to be the case, and it shouldn't be. If we want to embrace our natural hair, it's important we do so all the way. It's important we take pride in our hair, celebrate the creative prowess and all the ways in which we express it through our hair, but also embrace lower effort looks. Embrace the coils, move away from the obsession that our curl patterns must always be defined, and realize that in whatever form, textured hair is okay. Just because hair isn't slicked down doesn't mean it's a mess, and that brings me back to Simone. She has textured hair, that's a fact, that's okay, and she looks beautiful.
Pushing me, baby's touching, baby's pumping, forget me, crushing me, baby's touching me.
Welcome to China Airline. Thank you for choosing the airline.
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
Saying a bad word for each letter. Let's go.
Like, this is serious! You can't tell any pony, because we'll be in deep trouble.
You know, you can say anybody instead of any pony.
Minecraft. 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 Minecraft.
Did you just call me autistic?
Do I get offended when people call me gay for wearing makeup, even though I'm straight? No,
I don't, because there's literally nothing wrong with being gay. But even then, makeup shouldn't determine your sexuality. How you choose to present yourself shouldn't determine who you're attracted to. I honestly think if everyone, straight men in particular, stopped caring so much about what is and what isn't considered gay and just chilled the fuck out with assuming people's sexuality purely based off how they look, then there'd be more men like me who'd be way more comfortable in expressing themselves and how they actually want to, not what society tells them is socially acceptable. Like, is this not a completely reasonable opinion to have? Will the world not be just a little bit less shitty if we could do this? I don't know, man. Okay, here's a final look.
All right, what's the difference between centering black folks in your anti-racism and being in black folks' business? Here's some examples of being in black folks' business. Number one is offering unsolicited opinions about or advice to black people about the issues that we face. Number two, inserting yourself into conversations that are happening between black people, even when that's on social media. Number three, telling a black person any sentence that begins with, "If I was black." Number four, speaking over black people. And number five, deputizing yourself and interrogating black people for just existing out in public. And here's some examples of centering black people in your anti-racism. Number one, believing black people when we share our lived experiences, even if you've never experienced or seen them yourself. Number two, using your voice to advocate for equity for black people in whatever your sphere of influence might be, home, work, politics, whatever that is. Number three, investing in black people and organizations financially. Number four, not requiring kudos or backpats for your anti-racism work and being very intentional with putting yourself in the background as much as possible. And number five, listening to black people and sharing our content, sharing our voices and our gifts so that way those things can be amplified. Hint, hint, share this video too.
Trans folks are undergoing a genocide right now.
Hi. As a Holocaust survivor, I have given this a lot of thought. To me, there is no question that the transgender society is going through genocide. The question is, what are we going to do about it?
Silly Caucasian girl likes to play with samurai swords.
Got a white boy on my roster, he be feeding me pasta and lobster. He just hit me up on Tuesday like, what you doing, babe? Let me take you shopping. I told him, well, I'm a little busy. He said, damn, I'm in your city. But anyway, it's okay, hope you have a good day. I'ma see you by day 50. Then I told him, you treat me so well. He said, cash out Pazelle. Matter of fact, scratch that, I'ma see you a stack just cause you fine as hell. And I told him, well, thank you, baby. Anything for my favorite lady. Well, I gotta go, they just let me know that I could pick up my Mercedes. I got hoes in different area codes. He know what's up.
Ag means I'm leaving this cult. And from now on, this is the flag I'm standing for. This is my community. Because this country is what gave me the right to transition and be.
Now, I'm not the type of person to save someone's video, but when I saw that yesterday, I knew it was going to be taken down for obvious reasons. But it's for that reason that I saved it, because I have truly never seen a more psychotic and unhinged video on this app. Like, go touch some grass. Go touch some grass, because it's so clear you're not living in the real world. Like, to jump to right-wing extremism or nationalism, I don't even know what the fuck to call this, because people were holding you accountable for the words you were saying on a large public platform, which, keep in mind, were racist, along with contributing to the marginalization of trans people, which those rights were a door that was pried open for you by predecessors, which you're trying to slam shut on others, is truly childish, if you ask me. Like, it's giving temper tantrum because someone's not agreeing with you, so you have to go find people who do. Grow up. And also, America gave you your rights? As somebody who's not American, you do realize that outside countries view America as oppressive, right? Like, we literally have travel warnings to go to your country because of how many people are killed, but also for queer people, it's not a safe country. Like, there are warnings for that. Which is ironic because it's the party that you align with right now that is essentially making it unsafe for queer people. Like, the party that you currently align with has made Nazis feel comfortable to come out. And I'm covering the flag right now because I don't want my video to be taken down. So if that's your version of inclusivity, wow. I also just think it's wild that there is this wave of LGBTQ plus people who can be a part of the community, but also think that they can have Republican or conservative ideologies. Like, it's giving water and oil. Like, to give some of y'all clarity, the reason as to why people like Caitlyn Jenner can be a Republican and trans is for the same reason why she can kill someone with her car and still go to movie premieres. She has access to money, power, and influence that essentially allows her to protect herself from the shit that she is contributing to. Which honestly can only protect someone for so long, but some of y'all who live in rural bumfuck nowhere, y'all don't have the same protections. You really don't. Like, there are reasons why there are studies and articles talking about how trans women are likely to be harmed, attacked, killed, and even impoverished. So yeah, babes, when you're ready to come back to reality, just know that the alphabet mafia will not be here with open arms waiting for you.
I know my ABCs. I know my ABCs. Come on and sing with me. Come on and sing. Let's sing it now. A, I'm amazing. B, bold and beautiful. C, I'm courageous. D, determined to reach my goal.
Watch this. Yeah, our current world map is wildly misleading, so let's talk about it. Most of you are probably used to seeing our world portrayed as such, and that is due to the common use of the Mercator projection, a map that makes countries near the poles look bigger and those at the equator look smaller. You see, in 1569, Flemish cartographer Gerardus Mercator created a revolutionary map for navigating the seas. By constructing the world as a cylinder, not a sphere, his map was able to represent the meridians and parallels as straight lines that crossed at right angles, thus helping sailors navigate some of their first trips. Thing is, transferring that cylindrical projection onto a flat sheet of paper was a bit problematic, as it left big confusing gaps near the poles. And so, Mercator stretched out the northern and southern extremities of the globe to fill those gaps, and that brings us to the map we have today. Somehow, it became the world's most globally used map, and as such, warped our perceptions of the actual sizes of continents, much to the advantage of some of them. Yeah, the fact that continents like the US and Europe were greatly enlarged was no accident. It was done so Western cartographers could more easily mark towns, cities, etc. in their part of the world. Of course, much needed to be mapped in Africa, but that mattered less to them. It could also be said that imperialism and colonialism lent a hand in projecting certain continents as bigger and thus more intimidating. For example, while Canada and Russia appear to take up about 25% of the Earth's surface, in reality they only cover 5%. While Greenland appears to be the same size as the whole of Africa, in reality it's no bigger than the Democratic Republic of Congo. In fact, while Africa is commonly known to be a large landmass, it's still vastly underestimated by most of us. The African continent has a land area big enough to fit the US, China, India, Japan, Mexico, and a bunch of European nations. But interestingly, on the Mercator projection, Africa is the most accurately sized continent. You see, because Africa straddles the equator, it barely changes in size, but that also means that it gives us a false mental measuring stick for judging the relative size of other countries. Ultimately though, because the Earth is a sphere, there's no such thing as a perfect map. It would be impossible to map our world on a flat surface without errors in proportion. However, there do exist other map projections, and perhaps with technology making it possible to show globe depictions and people like myself talking about true continent sizes, hopefully those misconceptions will become a thing of the past.
Autism Awareness Week. Let's all be aware of Harry.
Hi, my name is Annie, and this is my scat, like 5 minutes on T. It needs work. Hi, my name is Annie, and this is my scat 1 month on T. Hi, my name is Annie, and this is my scat 2 months on T. Hi, my name is Annie, and this is my scat 3 months on T. Hi, my name is Annie, and this is my scat 4 months on T. Hi, my name is Annie, and this is my scat 5 months on T. Hi, my name is Annie, and this is my scat 6 months on T.
Hi, my name is Annie, and this is my scat, 7 months on tea. What? Hi, my name is Annie, and this is my scat, 8 months on tea. Hi, my name is Annie, and this is my scat, 9 months on tea. Hi, my name is Annie, and this is my scat, 10 months on tea. Hi, my name is Annie, and this is my scat, 11 months on tea. Hi, my name is Louie, and this is my scat, 1 year on tea.
This is my impression of a cis girl passive-aggressively correcting you on her newly non-binary friend's pronouns. Is Lizzie coming? She said she'd be here. Well, actually, they texted me earlier and said that they are so sorry, but that they would be running just a little bit late today. Yeah, but that we could go ahead and order them. Okay, a chicken Caesar salad. Oh, buzz, buzz. It looks like they, right, just texted me saying that they are pulling up. Oh, I see them.
The glorification of obesity within advertisements is not just a normalization. This is not healthy. It is not.
She is literally exercising. What do you want her to do? You can't go, oh, fat people need to exercise more, and then when a fat person uploads a video of themselves exercising, go, oh no, I don't want to see that. Don't you think that like other overweight people would like to see that there are comfortable and doable ways for them to exercise? How are they supposed to see that unless someone like her uploads videos of herself exercising? I mean, sure, I could share my workout regimen, and if you're built like a linguine, I'm sure that would help you. Also, is stuff like this really like Abercrombie glorifying obesity? Or is it Abercrombie just going, hey, we have clothes that fit you? Do you think the outcome of that advertisement is just gonna be skinny people going, oh, I want to be fat now because it's in an Abercrombie ad? Or do you think it's just going to be people going, oh, great, I can buy clothes there because I can see clearly they have stuff in my size? Acknowledging that people exist is not glorifying obesity.